Hi guys, welcome back to the Adulting and Riddled podcast with
Yo,
my
what's up? I'm
so-called
back.
friend, with my so-called friend who apparently thinks tea is trash. Ugh,
Guys, tea is trash. There's absolutely no need for tea in
I'm
this
so
world.
hurt.
If there was
Like,
a beverage that could get cancelled, it has to be tea. This is a hill that I'm willing to die for, or to die on.
This is
Guys,
not the hill you want to
I'm
die.
willing
Why would you want to
willing
do
to
that?
die on this hill
I know,
because
man.
tea is unnecessary.
Do you love yourself?
It is
Do
the
you
most
love
unnecessary beverage in the world.
Never. Tea is so versatile, bruh. Why
It does
would you hate
absolutely
something that's
nothing
so
for your body.
versatile? It does
It has
everything.
It has absolutely no nutritional benefits for your body.
According to who? Get
Hey,
your
I
facts
said what I said.
straight.
I said what I said, okay?
You need to get your factual barking straight.
I
I'm
said what I said.
moving you to my acquaintances. I can no longer call you a friend.
Fine. Guys, if any of you would like to be the new co-host of the podcast, please send in your CV in the comment section
because
below.
I'm gonna keep it. Because no ways we are interacting with people who hate tea.
Yeah, I'll finally get to start that YouTube channel that you've been, stopping
asking
me from
for.
starting.
Who means
That I've been
stopping you?
planning on starting. Yeah.
Please.
Being
All
the
I've
hater
ever
that you are.
done is be supportive to you, and you just decide to bash tea like that. I'm genuinely hurt, but let's move on.
I'm not going to change my stance on tea.
No,
There's
it's fine.
absolutely no need for tea. If you're a listener or whatever and you like tea, I'm sorry, but you need to stop listening.
Oh, imagine being so wrong, so loudly.
Anyway, how's your week been?
It's been it's been okay. We're going, man. We're moving swiftly, slowly but surely. Wow, we're trying. Second semester is a lot, but hey, man, it's been going good, I guess. How's your week been going?
My week has been amazing. I'm on recess for the week. Football is back.
Is your recess like recess, or there's still work to do even in your recess?
Obviously, there's still work to do. I just don't care about it this week. This is the week where I don't care about school.
That's nice.
Yeah, like I just wake up and I stare at my laptop and it stares back at me and it says, "Hey, are you going to get some work done?" And I'm like, "Nope, I'm not going to do that." And then I go on the couch for the whole day, and then I come back and then I stare at it and then I go to sleep.
You can do whatever you want, no pressure.
Yeah. Well, there is pressure. I just don't care about the pressure.
Yeah, my research is only starting this week, and I made a really bad decision by pushing all my work to do in this week. So I'll do better next time. I know. I regret it, but decisions, all of them, they're wrong. But
just forget about school, eh?
Actually,
like school will always be there. School will be there the other week. Just cancel it out of your life.
The best advice I've ever gotten.
You know how people ghost their girlfriends and boyfriends for a week and then come back and be like, "Hey, I was napping. Sorry." You should do that to school.
Yeah, I know, actually. Yeah, it's the best thing you can do for your peace of mind, guys. Love yourself. Go to school. Yeah. Watch how your life becomes better.
Go to school. Yeah, just like sit on the couch the whole day, be a couch potato,
Binge your shows.
Yeah, but please
binge
take a bath.
The podcast too. You know what I'm saying?
Please take a bath though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like somewhere between, watching all the episodes of the podcast. Please take a bath, guys. It's summer, it's hot. Please.
Yeah, please, guys. Love yourself, all right?
Yes.
So, on today's episode, we'll be talking about friendship, right? So I read this tweet, and I'd like us to get off from there. It's from Heather Lindsay at Heather and Love. She's like, I place my friends in 3 mental categories: my best friends, good friends, and then acquaintances. It's important that I understand where they stand in my life because unmet expectations breed frustration. Some of y'all are expecting your number 3s to act like number 1s.
Okay.
So do you do the same? I want to hear from you if you do the same.
Subconsciously, yes. I don't do it. I don't do it consciously, like I don't like consciously classify that this person is my friend or this person is my acquaintance, but I think I do it. I've realized that I actually do it. Um, yeah, yeah. I actually
Yeah.
discovered that I have a best friend this week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like I
Well,
was
okay.
like, actually, it's not you, Khudi. Relax, relax.
Okay.
It's not you. I know you're
If
about to ask. It is not you.
good enough today are coming at me, but it's cool,
Yeah,
bruh.
today,
Cool.
today I'm letting it all out. I've been holding
Fine.
it in.
Fine. Tell me about your best friend then.
No, like I was like, actually, I was hanging out with this person. You probably know who it is, but like,
Yeah.
I won't say it for, if you think you're my best friend, just keep thinking that. Let's keep it the way it is. But anyway, now I was hanging out with this person this weekend, and yeah, and we were talking, and I was like, actually, this person has been homies with me for like ever.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yes.
yeah. And
What
like
then?
it's weird because like my sister's always asked me, who's your best friend? And I'm like, man, I don't do that. I don't
I
do
was
that
about
best
to
friend.
ask actually, I'm like, do you guys do the whole like best friend thing and all of that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
It just happened and I was like, actually, but I don't think he's the only one. I do have like a few
Hmm.
best friends. But I was like, actually, if I were to classify this person as a best friend, they really are. Um,
What do you then like describe as like the best friend? Is it this like a very close friend who you know you can like fully rely on and whatever?
it's someone I can open up to,
Mm.
honestly.
So I
It,
can also classify as that.
relax. Know your
Sharp,
position in life.
sharp.
You're just
Mm.
you're just someone I host a podcast with. I only see on Saturdays when we
Okay.
record. By the way, we record on Saturdays.
So
So
yeah.
yeah, I only see you on Saturdays. That's who
Okay,
you are
cool,
now.
bro.
I'm
I
joking.
get
I'm
it.
joking. Kudi.
I know my place now.
You're my buddy. You're my dog, man.
I'm mine.
No. I think. Wait, what was the question? Sorry, I forgot.
What you describe, like what would you say is a best
Oh
friend?
yeah, someone I confide in. I don't confide in a lot of people. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I don't confide. Even my siblings. I don't even confide in my parents. I'm sorry if they're listening, but like, yeah. Um, there are very few people I confide in. There are very people I open up to like completely about my life, and those people are my best friends,
Mm.
honestly. So if you
Cause,
know that, like, you know my secrets, you're my best friend.
cause for me, growing up, when it came to like best friend stuff, I remember, it was a sad situation because we grew up like as a clique-ish. My friends
Mm-hmm.
on like my street, like clique. It was four of us, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
of the four of us, there were two who like claimed that this is my best friend, and we thought that like it's only supposed to be one person. I can't have like one best. I'm supposed to have one best friend. I can have more, but it's
Yeah.
only as I grew older that you can have a lot more than that. Like there is people who you can say like these are my best friends. These are which I prefer to call close friends. I don't know
Mm.
best.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds better
Mm,
actually.
yeah. So I refer to them as my close friends, like the cheat said, where she talks about the close friends and then the good friends and then the acquaintances. Now I had come to realize as well that turns out this was in I was in high school. So it turns
Mm-hmm.
out that there were people who considered me as their friend and I didn't consider them as that at all.
Ooh,
Which
I I still
yeah,
have those even today.
I feel like there are those people as yeah, till this day there are people who probably be like, but this is my friend and like we're good like that. I know blah blah blah. If I call her up, it will be like this. But that's not
Mm.
the case. That's why she said on the she talks about how knowing where who is where, of those
Mm.
friendships, because sometimes you'll expect so much from people and then
And
they'll
then they let you
utterly
down.
disappoint you
Yep.
because
Yep.
of their basically they're not putting you where you've put them. So when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to also assessing friends, I think it's also important to know like, this is where I'm at with this person. I know for me that people, if I get a text or a call, I already know they want something from me. And
Yep.
I have already placed them in that place that if this person
Mhm.
calls me, I already know that this person wants something from me.
They're basically leeches.
Yes, and I don't get
They
offended.
leech off you.
And I don't get offended by that because I know that this is our relationship. I know you well. I don't lose anything from giving you my 2 cents or giving you whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
expecting a lot from them is probably where I know I would go wrong because they wouldn't do as much for me as I do for them. And I of
Yeah.
course know my limits and I know what I can't just do like go all out because not mainly because they wouldn't do the same for me, but I know that our friendship is not at the level where I know that going all out for them works as best for me. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm, mm.
So for me, even when it comes to like the my close friends and the good friends, like I think we subconsciously put people in those categories so that we know that we don't get to expect like a lot from this person, and maybe from the other person you expect a lot. And
Mm.
come and talking expectations, what's your take on this whole people don't owe you much kind of thing?
Yeah, I guess it's
What's your
true.
take on that?
No, I think people who
Specifically
owe
also
you
when it
something.
comes to your friends. Let's
Yeah,
focus
let's
on
talk. Let's just be specific, and talk about friendships. I think friendships. There are people who owe you something. There are people who who you require. I don't want to say. I'm trying to find like a way of properly wording this, but like there are people in your life who should be there for you when you need them.
yes.
Um, I think it is healthy to have that expectation. I think it is
Mm,
healthy to have people who that like I'm going through a lot, and I need this person to be there for me. Um, but like I don't think it's specific to friendships. Um, I know there are people in my life personally who like when they are in trouble, when they're going through a lot, I'm there for them. They can always rely on me.
mm,
But they're not necessarily my friends. They're not people that I would go to when I need something like urgently.
yeah.
And yeah, I think it's just it's just like responsibility. You know you're responsible for this person in your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a weird thing to say, but like some people, I personally believe that there are people in my life who God has put because He just wants me to be there for those people. Um,
Hmm.
He just wants me to consistently check on them, especially when they're going through a specific phase in their life.
Mm.
It's a very weird thing because when I talk to other people, they're like, "So you see these people as projects?" And I don't think it's seeing people as projects. I think there are people in my life who God has just given me like some weird and inexplicable patience to
Mm.
deal with these people. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but like, yeah, I feel like there are people who, I just have so much patience for. I don't even know where this patience come from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't necessarily think or consider them like my closest friends. I just think that they're people who, God has like just, you know,
A
yeah, put
reason.
in my life. Yeah, he's
Some
just
people in life for
he
a reason, a season.
yeah, they're just there for a season, maybe in their life that they need
Yes.
someone to consistently be there for them, consistently check on them, or just someone to be there for them, basically.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that it's my responsibility. Sometimes I just feel like this is like this is overwhelming. This person is asking so much from me. But then I'm reminded that I've been put in this person's life for that season in their life, and I think it becomes easier when this person is out of that season because then they don't necessarily need me in their life, and it's easier for me to let them go
Mm.
because I know that I've done my job. So I think the one thing we tend to um, overreach in is that we tend to overreach our or we tend to overestimate our role in someone's life. We think we deserve to be there in someone's life, for all their seasons.
Ever.
And it doesn't work. Yeah, and it doesn't work like that. I think
And
there are
I-
so yeah, sorry, you were saying?
I'm saying, like, and even on that note, which is saying that sometimes we expect to be in people's life for all their seasons. I've realized also when it comes to our friends, even though we've known them for a really long time, maybe specific friends, even though we've known them for a long time, even though maybe we are so-called best friends or close friends or good friends or acquaintances, I've realized also
Yeah,
for them, there are also certain seasons where we may not necessarily be playing a role for them in that specific
yeah,
time
yeah,
and place. And I think we should also learn also for some friends that we can't like always, I mean, for others it's easier, but for certain friendships, I think when our friends are not that open to us, or maybe or I don't know.
there's just some disconnect,
Yes, and
some sort of distance. Yeah,
yeah, it all comes down to that thing where they're like, I pray my friends go through, they get better with things that they don't talk to me about, you know,
mm,
things
mm,
like that. When it comes to what you're saying about seasons, I think it's another thing that I've also come to learn, that for some friendships, I understand that maybe the best thing, I'm probably not the best help at that point, but it doesn't make
yeah,
me any less of a
mm,
friend.
mm,
I think
mm,
that
mm.
that's one thing I'm also still navigating throughout my friendships, because I'm used to like always being there. If you need anything, I'm your girl. Like, you're crying at
Yeah,
3 a.m. at night, you're having a hard
hit me
time,
up.
honey, pick me up. It's
Yeah,
okay. You can make me out of
mhm,
my sleep. But
mm,
I'm learning to understand that also the same way all of that happens is the same way sometimes it's okay that maybe they don't need me to get through that thing. And it doesn't
yeah,
mean that I'm a bad friend or
mm,
they just don't
mm.
need me at all, you know?
Yeah.
It's
That's actually what I'm going through right now.
mm,
I'm going through this phase where I feel like, I've given so many people too much of my energy, and I'm starting to be a bit more selfish. Um, and and I think it's helping me also because I'm starting to the lines are getting less blurry about who in my life is actually, you
a
know,
friend.
a friend and who is an acquaintance. And I think sometimes it gets blurry because you talk to this person so much, and like
Yes.
obviously you guys connect and stuff, but like I think during this time when I'm becoming more selfish, and I'm realizing, because like I've realized that like I've given so much of myself in terms of being being able to be there for people, that I've basically like lost myself. I don't want to say, yeah,
Yeah,
well, lost
it does
myself.
make sense. Yeah.
So like I feel like I'm going through this phase where I need to recharge personally. Um,
Mm,
I need to like distance myself from people, and even people who, like as I said earlier, are there for who I need to be there for. I feel like God is just saying to me, be a bit more selfish now. Focus
mm,
on yourself. Be around people who can help you recharge now.
mm,
Which is what I'm learning to do. Um, yeah, so I think it's easy to get those lines blurred, that this
yo,
person is an acquaintance, or this person is a friend, and then
yeah.
you actually realize when you need a friend that actually, maybe this person is just an acquaintance.
You know what I'm saying?
Actually, yeah, actually, this I might have miscategorized this person, um,
Mm,
which is okay. I just think that like, and speaking of last week's episode,
mm.
you remember I told you about like how I got dumped, I got ghosted as a friend in primary school. I'm
Pain.
still healing from that, guys. Yeah, it
Sorry.
it gets to me. I wake up at 3 in the morning and I just cry a lot. I'm joking, I'm joking. But like, I think for me, I'm willing to like cut people off. Like, it's very easy for me to cut people off, and it's because I've gotten so used to the trauma. I think this might be therapy for me, but like I think I've gotten used to the trauma of like, you know, someone just ghosting me, that it's easy for me to cut people off.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I don't even realize how like selfish I am in that aspect, because it's easy for me to be like, one day I'm
But
like, actually this person won't in life. I need to move on.
yeah.
And like you might find that we were so close last week, we were pouring each other's hearts out, and like, but like today I'm like, you know what? Actually, this person, yeah, they don't add value in my life like they should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different for me. Like I get I get attached in friendships. It's really not bad, but because like I just like when I love people, like I love people. Like
Mhm.
also when it comes to my friends, there's a certain friend recently. I remember I was just there. And I'm like, oh, wow, I can't believe I don't talk to this person anymore. And generally, that friend would also randomly text and be like, "Hi, I was just thinking about you. I hope you're okay. I miss you so much. I
Yeah.
mean, we haven't spoken in ages, because I'd be like, wow, maybe because I hold on to that bond that I
Mm.
had a friend like this, and
Yeah.
I'm not, because I don't, it's also super rare for me to connect with people on a like certain level when it comes to friendship, and I genuinely value those. Yeah, I genuinely value those connections. It's literally only a few people who I can be like, I can look back and be like, whoa, we had a genuine connection here, and I loved being their friend. So that's
Mm.
when it becomes hard for me to fully let go that this just might not be going where like in a healthy direction for me, because maybe I'll realize that ish, I hate to admit it. I hate to admit it. Like maybe I realize I'm just that person who's maybe, I wouldn't say running after, but who's constantly being like, hey yo, what's happening? It's like maybe me.
Yeah.
I'm the one
Yeah.
who's constantly reaching out, like, hey yo, are you
Mm.
good? What's happening and stuff. And what I had realized with some of these friendships is that also when I reach out like that, maybe on multiple occasions, maybe when I reach out like that, that's probably what that person all they talk what the person all what the person just talks about is themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know
and
those friendships.
yeah, and it's never only, it's like there's never a point where now I'm asked, but how you doing? It's been forever.
Mm.
How's
Mm.
things been doing with you? And I look on these friendships, it's super hard for me to let go, but then I'm always like, but then ke kwelang, you know, for what?
Mm.
Because there's literally
This
nothing
person doesn't.
mm, there's literally nothing I'm getting out of this except what, like they're getting more out of this than I am. And in some
Yeah.
cases, I guess it's kind of okay way with what you said. You realize that you were placed in someone's life for maybe a specific reason, and you
Mm.
notice that as well, where you realize that maybe this is not really a deep friendship whatsoever. I understand that there's maybe something that needs to be done here, but for some people where maybe I consider you as a friend, that's when maybe you realize that you keep pouring, and there's no pouring back into your cup, and you're just
Mm.
like, but why? Like, okay, like,
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
me, with what you're saying, when you say like it's not hard for you to cut, man, I wish I was that person. For me,
I,
it's
I wish I was more empathic in doing it. I
in
really wish.
general, you should
Yeah,
be.
I think for me it's just because of trauma, past trauma
Yeah,
from my friend. Like I've been ghosted so many times, guys. Yo, I've been hurt
maybe,
too many times.
and this maybe also because for me, for the people who are like the closest around me now, these are people who I've known for 15 years, 10 years, longer
Yeah.
than like somewhere along those lines where I'm
Childhood.
like, yes, for most of them. So even the people I meet along the way now, we've known each other for 5 years, and all of a sudden things are changing. I understand things change, but like for not friendship breakups hurt me. I won't even lie. They hurt my soul. But then with certain friendships, I know that this is the end of the
Mm.
road. We've played a part in each other's lives, but right now we probably don't need each other as much anymore. And not that we're beefing. We just know
Have you
that
have you had have you had a friendship where you felt like, you guys are at the peak, you guys are on cloud nine, and then this person just like cut you off? Have you ever been
wait,
ghosted?
as a friend,
Yes,
yo,
as a friend.
no, have I? I don't know. None that I can think of at the top of my head right now. But nah. I don't think I've been ghosted as a friend before. It hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Personally, I've done it a lot. I'm so embarrassed that I've done it.
Apologize. Kidding.
Yeah, guys.
What?
If
Tell me actually, what is the reason that makes you like ghost the person?
I think
It doesn't have to
I
be
think
a
for me,
major reason or.
for me, I'm very I think I've said this before. I just don't remember. But I think I've said that like I'm a bit passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Um, I bottle things up. I just keep them inside. So like if you and let's just say you and I are friends, and you have a problem,
Mm.
like a character trait that is not necessarily a good one,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's a very repetitive character trait. Like I would be very patient with you if I genuinely feel like Hudi and I are friends. Um, but like I think at the back of my mind, I keep a tally of the times that like you offend me or you hurt me. I don't address it with you. I'll just
Why?
count, and then because like I feel like sometimes I'm patient with people. I accept that people are flawed. We are all flawed human beings. It's that patience I keep telling you about. That like sometimes I'm just patient with people who like everyone can be like, you know what, this person, we're fed up with this person, and I'm like, but guys, like give them a chance. Maybe it's this and this and this and this that's happening in their life, and that's why they're reacting like this. But then one day I'm like, I just wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like,
In the middle of the night.
actually, yeah, actually, you know how someone just wakes up in the middle of the night in the movies and then they remember
And has an
something.
epiphany or something.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's literally what happens. I'll just be sitting and I'll be like, actually, you know what? I'm fed up with this person. I
But
don't I don't necessarily think about it.
mm,
But also it's because like I try not to act when I'm very emotional. I try to let my thoughts simmer, let me think about it. Try not to be very impulsive.
is
And
this with
so
like just everyone, or do you think you're able
yeah, I think no, I
where
think it's
even
with
with a
everyone.
closer friend, not even with your closer friends, where you realize that nah, I don't think like where you'd be like, I know this and this happens, but I'm not comfortable with when things are done like this and whatsoever.
I think it's with everyone, even with family. I mean, the family members who I was like, actually, this person is such a horrible person. I don't need this person in my life.
Do you cut
Um,
off? Do you just cut off, or do you address then cut off?
no, I just cut off. There are friendships where someone will come back and be like, hey, you hurt me. Why did you do this? And I'll be like, hey, I didn't want to tell you this, but you're a horrible human being. Go fix that.
Mm.
But no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't say it that way. But there are friendships where, like, um, I think people deserve closure. I just think that other people, I don't want to. I just don't want to go to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Nasham. I know people are always on some no, guys. Closure is a scam. It's not a scam. I wanna know why you don't want me to be your friend. Okay, must tell me. But then,
there are people who I feel deserve closure, but there are some other people I just feel like you don't even deserve that from me.
yeah, I
Yeah.
address. Hey, in my friendships, if there are things that are, I feel like it's not working for me, I address. Although, like with the way it is with you, it takes a lot for me to finally be like, hey, so this and this is what's up. Like I'm a very patient and tolerant
Mm,
my
mm.
okay, let me not say I'm patient. I'm more tolerant than I am patient. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way.
I get you. I
Yeah, I'm
get you.
more tolerant than I'm patient. And what sucks for me is that by the time I'm finally like fed up, it just kind of like, you know how a sponge soaks in everything, and when you spit
Mm.
out all the water, it's like that's how I am. So with me, I hate conflict, but
I
I
also
need
hate
you. I need you to know, maybe because of it, it all comes down to the fact that sometimes I don't want us to stop being friends. Okay, it's not that deep for everyone in case it sounds like that. But because there's some people I'm like, ah, you're asking. So, you know,
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
so some people I am willing to address. I'm like, hey, man, so I'm not okay with the fact that you do this and do this and this and and I'd really appreciate if you started doing this as well and whatsoever, because I don't want to feel like I am, doing this thing on my own or whatsoever. And of course, now you know this is how I feel in this friendship. So in case something happens and I decide to ghost you, you know what you did wrong, and yeah. And then for
yeah,
some people, obviously, we can still be friends again, but I do understand that things will never be the same again. I'm realizing
yeah,
that now with some of like my closest friendships, like there were people who got me. Like I said, like for me, it's super rare for me to have that connection with like a friend and whatsoever, that like the person like totally gets me. But there were people where over time, like we stopped being friends. We still talk, but we wouldn't, like the friendship is not as deep as it was then.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and for some reason, even with those people, I am genuinely okay with also how things are. Like I'm not like clinging on to it, because
Mm,
for that certain period in time in my life, they literally were the best people to ever happen to me, and I am
mm.
super grateful. Like I think maybe, I don't know if I can call it healthy, probably the healthiest friendships I've had, that even when it ends, I'm not clinging on for dear life. Maybe.
But I think your way is healthier. I don't think personally the way I do things is healthy. I think I think you need to be able to cling on to people because
To a certain degree
and-
though.
no, but because you're admitting that this person meant something in my life. Whereas with me, I'm just like, you know what, this person didn't mean anything to me, and I think it's very toxic because then I don't, even going forward with other friendships, then I don't allow myself to be open with other people. Like for
Mm-hmm.
me, communication, it's a very weird thing. I don't even know why, but like um communication is very, very weird. It's very difficult for me to communicate my feelings, um, especially with friendships. It's like, you know, it's it's
I
difficult for
think
me to.
it goes
It's di-
down to, you said this I think on the first episode when you said that's why you're not very close with your friends, because of like one of your earliest friendships you got ghosted. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably the thing that yeah.
And I think it's sure it even goes into like my family. I think even with my family, I talk to my family, we're on good terms. But like it's very difficult for me to, yeah. So like let me give you an example. So this year I picked up that I don't tell my family members that I love them. Like my entire life, it was just like, I love you. Like, why should I tell
Yeah,
you?
same. I
And like,
understand.
yeah, and like this year I've started to consciously tell people around me that I love them. And
Yeah.
like I've picked up how, they like get startled a bit. Like I'd end a call and I'll tell my mom or tell my aunt and be like, I love you. And at first it was like, what did you say? Like I
Mm,
could literally hear in their voice that like they're a bit startled by it.
mm,
And it just made me realize that like I've not been able to tell even the people I love the most that I love them. Um, and yeah, I'm working on the way I communicate with people. It's just, I just feel like it's very unhealthy to be distant with people. I think there need to be people who you're vulnerable with. There need to be
Yeah.
friendships that you'd grieve if they ended. Um, I don't think
And
that.
that's okay. I think also when it comes to with what you said about right now about there's certain friendships where you need to grieve when they ended. I think it's okay. I understand sometimes one like motho ka se mo rapeletse or whatever, but
Mm,
I think
mm,
it's okay. We are human people. We can't
exactly.
disregard the fact that we loved a person and they were like a really great friend. Or for some people, it's probably like the one friend in all your life that you knew this person is down for me. And things
Mm,
change, and it's okay if you're sad. We are human. You don't have to deny yourself the fact that this friendship ending hurt. That's why I say for me, for certain people, I'm like, I don't want to stop being friends with these people. And there are people I'm like, I understand they did their part. And there's some people I'm like, oh, please get out, you know.
just
But
go. Just leave.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like the three categories, like the close friends and stuff. I know for some people, if I lost now, life will never be the same ever because I just love them so, so much. And I'm just also giving myself the grace that, man, it's okay. Stop trying to act gangster all the time, bro. We're human. We're human.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, with what you just said, like for some people, it's okay to grieve. Like if a friendship ends, and it's
Mm,
okay. It really is okay,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
even for me, I've realized with some of my toxic friendships, these people, I just genuinely laugh. If it ended, I will realize that, well, there's a huge difference. I know that there's one of my friends that during this lockdown, in the beginning we spoke a bit, but during I'm like, no, and like this person doesn't check on me if I don't check on them. And
Mm,
I'm like, let me stop talking to this person. And then I realized the difference in my life in general
yeah.
that
Yeah.
came from stopping to talk to this person. And I'm
Sure.
like, wow, I can't believe that this was pretty much one sided. And I
Mm,
think subconsciously, what I do, I hate to admit it, but now as we were talking, I'm thinking to myself that maybe me sometimes like slowly reaching out to a friendship is how I sort of let it go. That I'm sort of reminding this person that maybe we can like talk again whatsoever, but also
yeah.
maybe there are parts of me that I'm just slowly letting you know that I tried my best, and if things work out, it's not on me. I think that's one of the main reasons I sort of do it. I let you know that I love you, but I understand that this might not be going in the direction that we both want. So I'm letting you down slowly also. So if you ever look back, you're like, but damn, I didn't do much. So it's on me. So you can look back and be like, it's on me. She tried.
Mm,
I think maybe that's one of
agree.
the yeah, I think maybe that's also one of the reasons I could probably be like, hey, I hope you're good and all that. But yeah. But I
Mm,
also am coming to understand that even as we grow older in some friendships, people are really busy. And just because we haven't spoken in I don't know, I actually have a friend who I've known for quite a while, since 2013. Yo, 2013 sounds like we're saying 3 years ago, but it's 7 years ago. Well, damn.
bruh. Bruh.
It's like when you're talking 15 years ago, in your head you're thinking 1995, but it's 2005.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
anyway, I have this friend. He's he's amazing. He calls me his best friend. We met when I was in 2013. He's that
Mm,
friend where we probably talk 4 times a year, but I know he's got my back regardless.
mm,
And I think
mm.
there are friendships like that where you know that this is my friend, like this is my homie,
Yeah.
no matter
They're
what.
very platonic
Yeah,
friendship. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And regardless of the fact that we don't talk, that's why I'm saying like even though there are certain people you realize that maybe if you don't hit them up or they won't hit you back up, or there are specific people who are like that who you're the one watering the friendship,
Mm,
but there are also friendships where you know that we're generally both busy. Me not hitting
Mm,
you up, I just know for a fact that we're just
yeah,
generally both busy. So for me, I
yeah.
actually I learned that also from him, that just because we don't talk doesn't mean we're no longer friends. But you
Mm,
need to know, of those friends who you don't necessarily always talk, who do you say is like genuinely my friend? Because I think there is a difference between those kind of friendships and the friendships where, you're the only one watering the dead plants. Yeah, you
mm,
know. So I think
mm.
it's also
I
really
think
important to distinguish
I
those
think
kind
I
of.
have I think I have a friendship like that, and um, with 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 this friendship, we started being friends in 2015, and it was a very weird way. So we were going on a outreach trip to Zambia. If you know what I'm talking about, I
Wow.
love it. But like we were in the same bus, and like it just started in a very weird way. Like we both can't figure out how like that friendship started,
Mm-hmm.
because like we're basically just making jokes the whole way, and like her and I became like genuinely close friends. Like she's one of the people I consider sister.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and like so when I went to varsity and she also went to varsity, like there was this bit of disconnect. And I think the first year for me, like it was like weird because I hadn't had a friendship like where you'd be out of someone's life for a few months and then come back and like things would be perfect. Um,
Yeah.
but like, but like even today, we don't necessarily talk. Like I don't remember the last time we had a very like deep conversation where we were like pouring each other's hearts out. But like I still consider this person a sister
Mm.
to me. Like we haven't
Mm.
talked in years, like on a very deep level. Like, we just talk casually here and there.
Mm.
Yeah, we try to, catch up once in a while, but like it's not very, like the way you'd consider a very close friend. But
Yes.
like that friendship, I know it's very platonic because like no one knows how it started. No one can like tell you that these people became friends because they have this and this in common.
Mm.
um, we have very few things in common, but I still consider this person um, a very very close friend. And so I think on this note, then maybe we should talk about friendships of with the opposite sex. um,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
think I think also leading into next week's topic, then maybe we should start there.
Cause
How
yo,
how how yeah, how do you manage your friendships with guys,
uh,
including me?
the dog, Lord. So, for me, maybe because I have a, okay, I make it sound like it's a lot. Like I have gang guy friends. I have, for those for those whom I'm friends with. Wow, English is running away from me today,
Hey
guys.
guys, it's Saturday, guys.
It's
Please,
Saturday.
please.
So for me, with a lot of the guys I'm friends with, like I'm genuinely also just very close with them. It's hardly
Hmm.
ever like, oh, it's just like, hey, whatever. Except of course this one that I like just spoke of right now. We talk every once in a while. He's actually the first person to call me his best friend. Like I always call people best friends first, but and I was so touched and I was so happy. And he still calls me that till this day. So it makes me happy. So I'm kidding.
Okay. Shots
So
fired.
so for me, I think maybe it's something we both want. So there's no, of course there are I've never been in a position where we had to set boundaries, honestly, because we both know that we're friends, and there's
Hmm.
no trying to do whatever and whatsoever, because a lot of people are always on some, there is no way you can be friends with a guy and nothing has ever
Yeah.
happened or no one ever caught
Yeah.
feelings. I'm like, well, sweetie, come talk to me and I'll let you know how you do this
Yeah.
thing. Because for all of my guy friends, there was never a point where there was like, hey, yo, bruh, I think I'm feeling you. Oh,
I
ish,
can't relate to you.
hey, I think I'm starting to catch feelings. No,
Hmm.
for me, I think maybe because that's what worked for me. Because for most of you guys, like from the get go, maybe yeah, it has just always been from that point that
Yeah,
I
there were no
genuinely
hidden
say,
intentions.
hey, there were no hidden intentions. There we go. It didn't come from a point of like, ish, I used to like this girl, but she friend zoned me, so ish, let's just be friends. Oh no, in
Yeah,
some cases it has been like that. I don't I won't even lie. And some people do really well in the friend zone and we become amazing friends, you know. They become the good friends. But for those who I could say are my close friends, from the get-go there were no hidden intentions. It was like, this is my homie, I enjoy their vibe, and yeah, for me, I feel like I have some really healthy platonic friendships. Keep platonic,
yeah,
right? Yeah, I have
yeah.
probably
That become
some.
like siblings.
Yes, exactly. It's like
Mm,
this
mm.
person is my brother, man. Like my kids will call
Yeah,
you uncle and stuff, you know,
uncle. Mm,
things
yeah,
like that.
exactly.
So and I really really appreciate that I could have friendships with guys with no hidden intentions, and
Mm,
there is some sort of safety in that, and it's
yeah,
super rare. So I
yeah.
I genuinely am grateful for those friendships. Like they you guys no you guys I could look at like you guys literally treat me as yeah you
Tell you
guys
about me,
literally
guys.
yeah okay
I'm her friend. I'm her brother.
you guys literally treat me as that, like this girl's my sister and there's no hidden intention whatsoever, so
Mm,
that
mm. Yeah,
I'm
I
genuinely
think
grateful.
I think I also have a lot of friendships like that. Um, I think like I'm just remembering that I had another friend. So I've been in two different situations. So like I do have friends, just to clarify. I do have female friends. I consider them sisters too. Nothing, yeah, nothing like that. But like there were two different situations. So I have this friend who I've been friends with for a few years now, and I found out recently that she had a crush on me, but she didn't tell me. So I found it out from someone else. And I'm like, oh, this is so cute. Like, this person
Mm.
had a crush on me. Like I was flattered. But like I think with this person, she's a sister. Like, and
I
yeah,
see
it's
you as
over.
my sister. You know
Yeah,
it's deep.
honestly,
If you
honestly.
end in the family zone, shame. Can't even get out.
But like I feel like I personally get offended if like I consider you that and then you come and you tell me that
Yeah,
I have a
no.
crush.
It is a bit
Like
offending. It
like
is.
crushes are normal. I don't think they're a very weird thing. I think it's easy to catch feelings for someone. I just
Mm.
get offended like we've gotten to a place where we're genuinely friends and you have a crush on me and you tell me.
Yeah,
I,
ne?
it just like throws me off because like I'm like there are also like certain friendships I've had and like I had a crush on this person and like I just felt like telling them would just like ruin things, and having a friendship is better than potentially having a relationship with this person,
Mm.
because I just like personally for me right now in my life it's relationships, friendships. Like friendships are on a higher level because I feel like yo like
There's also not a lot
yeah
of pressure in them in some cases where you have to
yeah
put in work and all that.
but like I also feel like you become family, whereas with
Yes.
like relationship you don't. Like, yeah, you're just a special friend. Like, we like each other based on feelings. But like, with maybe you and I feel like you're my sister. We're gonna be through. We're gonna go through life with each other. We've been through so much together. Um, yeah. But
You
like,
don't say.
so in this other scenario, in the second scenario, I did have another friend, and like she decided to tell me, and at first I was like, oh, okay. And then, my epiphanies happened. And like I woke up at 12 in the morning and I was like, actually, this person offended me. They really should not have told me that, you know, yeah, that they have a crush on me. Because like
But
it
actually,
honestly, it actually offends me.
you are reminding me of something that there's actually a couple of people who I consider friends. Oh, I've put them in that place, but they don't consider me as that. They see me as a potential girlfriend or
Hey,
whatever. Because now that I think of it, there are people who would, even out of nowhere, we'll be talking and then they'll just randomly mention it. And in my head, I'm like, bro, we are way past that, dog. Like, I think you should know from by this where we're at now that I genuinely consider you as my friend. But
there's a period where you can disclose these things. If we pause that period, don't tell me.
But then what
Keep
happens?
It to yourself.
What happens? You're like, yo. Some people just put it on for later, and they're like, "Nah, I'll just do it later." Because now this is the beginning; it might ruin everything. But anytime it might ruin anything anyway. So
I think for me, like with this person who told me this year, for me it was like.
Are you still friends though?
I'm trying not to.
Okay.
If you know yourself, if you know that this is you, I'm telling you now, you offended me and I don't consider you a friend anymore. Because I'm a very bad communicator, I obviously won't tell you in person. But this is me telling you. Catch a hint, okay?
That's horrible.
I'm sorry, but like I'm going to use this podcast to talk to people, guys. I'm sending subliminal messages. But like I think for me it was like I was in a relationship last year, and when it was coming towards the end of that relationship, I opened up to this person about like everything, and they were there for me. So it gets very weird when you tell me that you've had a crush on me, because then it means that like also the advice that you're giving me then might not have been
the best.
Yeah, might not have been coming from a place of love. Maybe you were doing it for your own selfish reasons. So like then I start to question so many things. I'm like, but like, you know, there were times when we would talk and like, you know, I'd open up to you and like you were doing it, you know, like I start to question your intentions, and I don't want that in a friendship. I don't want to be questioning, you know, whether you had genuine intentions or not. And like that's why I say telling someone that you have a crush on them is very selfish if like we've become friends for such a long period. I just find that it's very selfish. I genuinely find that it's selfish. And also because like this year, like if you know me, if you have my number and you see my statuses, you know that I hate relationships. You know that I genuinely tell people not to get into relationships.
I think in some cases, though, when it comes to platonic friendships and people telling people that they like each other, I think maybe, like you say sometimes from the beginning, why didn't you let it out in the beginning? Like now that we are where we are at, why are you telling me now? I think maybe subconsciously for some people, they're probably thinking, this person has seen how much potential I'd have if I became that partner. So maybe this could be the right time to tell them. That's what I think.
Nope.
I think that's probably why.
I disagree with that. I just think that it's a very conscious decision that you make, that, you know, and I think with this person, I've also picked up that they're a very selfish person in general. It's a character trait of them. I think there are times where like, and this person has even said that before, that like sometimes it's difficult for me to keep my mouth shut when I should. And I think, like we've talked about this person, you and I, and like, I think for me, it just genuinely offended me that like I saw you as a sister. I've been there for you, like during the not so good times of your life, and like I genuinely thought that like, you know, you are my sister, and if, you know, had I been going through something and like I was very vulnerable, you could have taken advantage of that. Because there are friendships where like, you know, I allow myself to be very vulnerable, and had I been vulnerable with this person, they could have taken advantage of that. And like it scares me because I don't think friendships should be like that. I think it is possible to have friends, to be friends with people of the other gender, and not have, you know,
hidden agendas. Did you hear that? Boo! But anyway, we'll just have to end our episode there because there's just so much to talk about. You guys just join us next week as we are going to be
come back next week. Next week we're going deeper.
Go deeper. You know
the topic that you guys like talking about. The one that I hate. We're going into that one. Next
you guys
week
will hear from us.
yeah, next week I'll tell you guys why I hate relationships.
Yeah.
Basically.
So just do the most, guys, and just comment. If you're watching on YouTube, just comment down below what your stance is on friendships. Because I know there are people who are like, I don't want friends. My family is enough. And there are also people who are like, I've just been hurt so many times. I'm cool. It's cool. Those people who are like, no, I'm cool with 3 friends. And there are people who are like, I have a lot. And it's me. I'm those people. Of course, in different categories.
Yeah.
Even though like it's hard to reply everyone on WhatsApp, guys. I'm publicly apologizing because there's no one who doesn't complain
guys,
about that.
is horrible on WhatsApp. Yo,
that's not the point.
Guys,
I'm just saying, you guys.
Before we end this episode, I'd like to say Khudisha is a very horrible WhatsApp person.
No,
I literally have to.
No, people are gonna come for me. Don't say it.
No, guys. If you agree with me, please comment below.
Please, better.
Guys, she's very horrible.
It's gotten. Let me tell you, I'm now like, I used to only reply to like a good 15 people a day, and I'll call it a day.
Do you know what hurts me the most? Do you know what hurts me the most? I feel like we share a podcast, bruh. Like, genuinely, most of the time when we talk, I mean, there are times when, like, I just want to talk. But, like, most of the time, I want to talk about the podcast. And, like, I can see that Khudisha's online. Khudisha will literally put a WhatsApp status.
No!
And I'd wait. And, like, I can literally see that she's online.
No, guys, can you please just also understand that just because somebody's online doesn't mean they're active. Sometimes I just forgot.
But Khudisha, I'm different, bruh. Khudisha, I'm different. I feel like
anyway.
I'm doing. Talk about this. We're not ending.
No, please. Like a lot of people usually come for me for that, and I'm doing better. I promise. Like,
guys, we need to address this.
I'm now able to reply all my 40 texts daily. That's a lot.
I don't care about all the other things.
But no. I'm just trying to. I'm doing my best.
No, you're not. Because I feel like we talk about the podcast. I feel like most of the time when I text you, it's very urgent. And you're not taking that seriously. I literally have to ping her, guys. Do you remember when we had Blackberries and you could ping someone on BBM? I have to do that with Khudisha on WhatsApp.
So, guys. Okay, I'm do better. I commit to doing better this whole week.
I am so stressed right now. Yo.
It's drama.
It is, guys, I'm stressed.
Don't be dramatic. I'm doing better. I just stop lying. You know very well. On that note, guys.
Please let me know if I'm the only one who experiences this in the comment section, because
do not.
We need to start a support group. But like also don't comment if you're one of the people who's just trying to, ask Khudisha how her day is going. I'm talking about the people who need something urgently from Khudisha.
No, but I reply when it's urgent, bruh. But okay, fine.
I have proof. Do you want me to show them the proof?
No.
I have my phone right here.
No, guys. Will do, guys. We'll talk about this next week.
Guys, if I can show you how many times I've Khudisha.
No, please don't listen to this guy, guys. Do you know what you should do? What you should do is follow us on our social media pages and talk to us about your friends.
Guys, look at this. This is embarrassing, Khudisha. But anyway.
But I always get back to you when needed. Let's admit
that. That's the problem. You don't.
Fine, I'll do better. But let's not get there. I remember my friend going hard on me on that. I remember the day. I was embarrassed.
Can you start
That's embarrassing. But anyway, guys, instead of starting a support group, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by this guy right over here. Make sure you follow us on our social media pages at Adulting Unriddled, so that we can engage with you, so that you can also hear about our upcoming, topics, and we can read your stance on all these things. Comment down below on your friendship style per se. If you are that person who's just detached, like this guy, or if you're like me and you like truly value friendships and you sometimes cling on some of them, not all of them, guys, because sometimes us knowing, okay? And also just share the podcast. We really want to grow the family. And yeah, guys, see you next week. Bye
And don't
bye.
forget to go to therapy, guys.
Yes.
Please, I'm gonna say it every week because I feel like we need to take mental health seriously. Please go to therapy.
If you listened to our podcast last week, guys, it was also very mind blowing. In the description box, I added a link of the places where you can get for free counseling and so on if you are in South Africa. So yeah, just do the most, and we love you guys, and stay safe.
Like before we end this, I'd like to say that you guys see that I have issues, but I go to therapy. I'm just I'm able to talk about these things because I deal with them in therapy. Don't think that I just bottle everything up. So yeah, please go to therapy. It's very important. We need to take care of our mental health as much as we do our physical health. As much as you go for checkups and everything, also go to therapy.
So that you can also even be a better friend, a better whatever.
A better adult as we're adulting. There's so much that we go through. You need help. But like, I don't want to talk about like, next week, guys, we're going to talk about.
We're going again. We'll keep
we're also going to go into how you guys use relationships as therapy. I'm just.
You heard? See? All right, guys. Bye.